Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Glassman's world. So check it out, guys. We got uh, we got some wholesale glass going on. I decided, I got this reminder the other day that when I was cleaning up some things here recently, I noticed that I found a little note here that I had wrote down on this receipt a while ago. That's funny. It's an old AutoZone receipt, isn't it? Huh. And so I wrote this down here: 50 locations or 50 states, two locations in each. So that would be 100 locations total, 30 per order. So this was for talking about the drop of water specifically, and that we were going to get the drop of water into all kinds of different locations. Well, at least 50 locations, or well, 100 locations, 50 states. And so, yeah, I was thinking, okay, well, at least 30 drops per order, which is basically the uh, 20 at $5 each. So it'd be 2,400, but you'd get the 30 for $100. And so, yeah, so then I had all these notes. So then 100 places at 30 per order, I would need 3,000 water drops made per order. And so I figured out, okay, well, how long is that going to take? I'd have to make 100 drops per day for 30 days straight. And so, yeah, that's actually doable. It is actually quite doable. But then I wouldn't be able to get a lot of other things going. But what I'm thinking is I would love to get some other locations. I recently got a few locations here in Albuquerque on some of my pendants, my jewelry, mushrooms, flowers, balloons, water drops, things like that, and the jellyfish. And I was thinking, well, if I get a few more locations here and there, um, that would be really good. It would do really well to offset the retail that I've been doing recently. And the retail side of things, it's good, but I don't know. For as long as I've been blowing glass, I pretty much have always done the wholesale game. Now, in blowing glass, you have to really learn all the different aspects. You can make the glass, but then how are you going to get it out there to the world? So you really have to learn how to market yourself and get it out there to different places. So basically, what I need to do is just get a hold of a few places that I used to wholesale to, see if they're interested in my glass once again. I pretty much let all my wholesale accounts go recently to try to do just the retail aspect of things and going online and stuff like that. And it's good, but I really I really want to just make a lot of glass and get it out there all at once like I used to, instead of just sitting on pieces and sitting on pieces. There's some glass I've been sitting on for a couple years, several years actually. And so I need to get rid of those and move the inventory through and keep on moving new glass and everything. But one of the biggest things that's going to be happening very soon is the balloons. All the balloons that we make, all the different balloon cards. We replicate balloons, but I also do just um, basic, generic balloons with just some colors, a few colors spiraled in. And the glass balloons are definitely going to take off. Pun intended. They're definitely going to take off. They're going to lift off. It's definitely going to be very successful. Backslash glass hot air balloons. So either one, either glass balloons or glass hot air balloons, You'll be able to find the glass there. If you'd like to place an order, let me know. I can do wholesale on the basic generic balloons. Replicating balloons, though, that's something that's custom ordered, custom glass, and I've been trying to figure that process and that aspect out, because there's going to be some balloon festivals that are going to be coming up that I'm going to be outfitting and getting the glass balloons to, and they're wondering like, what is it going to take to make some replica balloons for some of their pilots that they have that they're hosting. And for one thing, I have to find out, well, what's the list of balloon pilots that are going to be there, what balloons are going to be there specifically, and which ones are being requested to be made, because I cannot make every balloon that's out there. There are some balloons that I just cannot make. But there are definitely some items here that I can just make all day. And, like these here, spirals, making these kind of glass pendants here. I can wholesale these as well. But for the balloons are a whole different thing. You know, it's a very special item. So it's, specialty glass. So I'm thinking, we'll have the glass balloons going, of course. We'll get those out there to all the different festivals. And I need to figure out, how am I going to make the custom replicas, and then also be able to get them, like, like a finder's fee, or, being able to generate orders through them. They should be able to generate some sort of profits through my glass for doing that. So, um, it's going to take some information, figuring out how many pilots are going to be there, and which pilots, which balloons are going to be there, and then if I can even do them all. And then if I can't do them all, I mean, is it going to be fair to make custom balloon replicas for some, but not for all? Because then it'd be like, oh, well, sorry, your balloon's just a little too complex with the color panels. So I'm definitely going to have to figure out those logistics on what I can do as far as offering out custom made balloons, glass balloons, from the balloon cards or from photos and things like that. But not every balloon can be replicated. However, I have recently realized that I have a whole nother technique up my sleeve where I can pretty much put any image into glass, which means at that point I can take a photocopy of any of these cards here, and I can shrink them down to a size that then can be placed onto the back of a piece of glass, something like this, that then has an image just placed on the back of the glass. I don't think I have any clear images here, but so this piece right here, this is a simple $5 piece that I make at retail, and then I can wholesale them at 50 for 100, and that's without any necklace, without any cord, just the glass all by itself, only glass. So right now, I'm going to be reaching out to 50 different states, and we're going to see what bead shops I can get Gardeno glass into. with the different, to see what they'd be interested in. Are they interested in the mushrooms? Would they want just spirals? Are they into jellyfish? There's going to be some places that are going to be along the ocean, like in Florida, in California, places that are going to have, the Gulf of Mexico or the Gulf of America. And so, we'll have jellyfish that'll be more sold in those areas, right? Compared to like in the northwest, there'll be more mushrooms sold up there or something like that. And spirals can be just like anywhere. And then those who are interested in the water drops and want to focus on the drop of water and water is life, or people just also without even knowing the meaning of the drop of water, they just really love the raindrop. It's just a teardrop, a raindrop, a clear glass drop. A teardrop shaped piece of glass, and people just love it when it doesn't have anything in there at all. It's just a piece of clear glass. So there'll be a lot of shops that'll be interested in the drop of water as well. But if you are outside of New Mexico and you have a shop that you know of that you'd like to see Gardenia glass in, please comment below. Let me know what shop you'd like to see my glass, and then I can find them. Like you just let me know, and then I can find them. I can do a Google search and find them, and and if not, that's okay because I'm still just going to do a Google search. I don't know if we're going to go through an alphabetical order or if we're just going to go through to different states that I have connections in, or states that I've lived in, and things like that. I don't know exactly how I'm going to do my process with this all. But this is a spiral. Real simple. It's just a piece of colored glass. It's green glass inside of there that's been all twisted up inside, as you can see. And that's glowing red hot right now, but it really is just green spiral glass. So yeah, so I can definitely make spirals. We can do the mushrooms, which let's make a simple mushroom right here. And then we also have um, the one color mushroom, which looks like a two color mushroom. So let me show you a solid color mushroom. And we'll use that same green that we just used. And let me see if I can slide that over so it's actually in view. I'll move these over. Those are actually some colors that I'm going to be using for a hot air balloon coming up soon. The blue, the yellow, the red, the green, those are all going to be some hot air balloon colors coming up very soon. And we'll be doing that live. I think that I'll have a special guest in studio who's going to come in and film it for their own podcast, and we'll see because my place isn't really set up for that. And it can really only hold like one, maybe two people. But yeah, we'll have to see. I have to really clear out some space here. All right, so making a mushroom, basically the same kind of concept, pushing the stringer glass into the molten clear glass here. So yeah, let me know in the comments below any locations of bead shops or maybe shops that would be into the drop of water, or maybe even places that that are there are a lot of different states that actually host ballooning events and balloon fiestas, balloon festivals. So if you know any places like that, let me know as well. And we can also get the glass balloons over there. Any aquatic states like Florida, California, Washington, Oregon, even down in like Texas, Louisiana, places in the Gulf of Mexico there, places that might have jellyfish, and even just anywhere, people just love jellyfish. We here in the desert, I sell so many different jellyfish pendants just locally here at retail, and they used to be in the Albuquerque Aquarium gift shop, and they were sold for $49.99 there in the shop, and um, I sell mine still, $30 online. In person here in Albuquerque, I sell them for $20, which is a steal. And a lot of times I'll even do them at two for 30. So, getting the online price, you get two of them for the price of one, basically, when you're here in person. But I can wholesale the jellyfish, all the time. And we'll make one of those here in just a second as well. I figure, just for a few minutes here, we'll do a little live stream, and we'll talk about getting back into wholesale, which is one thing about blowing glass. The artistry is one thing, focusing on what you're doing. But then it slowly cools down, and then the color, as you can see, it's not so bright anymore. Now it's kind of reddish orangey, and it's going to look kind of brownish, and then it'll go to green. I'm going to let that cool down. We're going to work on another one here, and I can show you what I'm talking about with uh, using one color. So this is still one color right here, but this is a like an oxidizing color, or depending on how much oxygen or propane is with the flame, it's going to have um, well, basically it's because of the different elements and the minerals that are put into the color. And we won't make too many of these. We'll just make that real short here. So basically, you pull a stringer like that where you get the glass molten, you pull it. The tip is kind of rounded some, so I'm going to try to pull it out just a little bit more to just stretch it out, elongate it. So now this color here, as you can see, it's different here compared to here where the heat's touched it. So this color gives the mushroom, like I said, it's one color still, but because of it, which I believe it's a cadmium color, could be wrong, but because of the color changing effect, it's going to look like it's a two-color mushroom, which I used to sell my two-color mushrooms for $10 each at retail, and anyone could get away with still selling the solid color ones, like the green one here, for $5, even $7 retail, and then getting away with selling the two color ones, which is basically just a one color still. Oh, it looks like my stream is not working so well. I'm gonna have to check on the Wi-Fi signal here. So then you just get that ready to push that in, make another mushroom here. So it's the same process as the solid color. It's just these tend to look really nice compared. These I sell out of compared to the solid color ones. And recently I dropped my prices down with these to only $5 retail. But like I said, anyone could get away selling these for $7 for $10 retail, but they're still the same price. So these, I might put a lot more of the solid color ones in than these color changing ones here. But you would get some of these in with the package of 50 for 100. And anyone, you don't have to own a store or a shop. You don't have to be a vendor. You don't have to, prove to me that you can purchase at wholesale or anything. If you'd like to get 50 of these for $100 and gift them away or even resell them or whatever you'd like to do with them, you're more than welcome to do so. You don't need to be a shop owner, a bead store owner, or anything like that. So, if you're interested, comment below, let me know, and we can get in touch with one another and figure all that out. So, like I said, this here is very simple, just the same thing. One color, except this is going to have a complete different change in hues, multiple hues of colors within that right there. So when you use those colors to push the mushrooms, they definitely are sellers. But it doesn't mean that the solid color ones don't sell. People still do love solid colored green, solid colored blue, yellow, red, white, orange. People love the primary colors still. But when I have these side by side next to at the same price at only $5 retail, these tend to pick up a lot quicker because of the color changing that it has. And once these cool down, I'll be able to show you the differences in them. And as they're cooling down, I'm going to move on to a jellyfish here. And then we'll probably finish up the demo after the jellies. So let me just pull a mushroom real quick, or pull the loop, or the bail. I just clean that up, close it up nicely. All right, so then we just clean this up, clean up the punty mark, just the same as we've done with all the other ones. These are pretty much the same amount of time and almost the same techniques. And then, like I said, they always are glowing, super hot. I wish I could keep them looking not like that. That's way too bright. But if I could get them to stay glowing like that, that would be so awesome. I mean, the closest thing I could do would be to put some translucent red over white, and then maybe it would give that kind of effect. But yeah, that's a whole different process. All right, so we're going to work on a jellyfish real quick here. Let's see. This is the new ribbon cane that I made just recently, which is a simple ribbon cane, but it's actually working out really nicely. And then where's the other piece to that? Is that this one here? Yeah, I believe so. All right. So now we'll work on the jellyfish here. Yeah, we'll probably have to redo this video and talk about everything once again. All right, I think that we're back. I think that the connection is back, guys. So we've been working on the jellyfish here, and got it all built up right now. So we added the tentacles and put the little bit of color on the tip right there. So now we're going to use this to push in and basically make a mushroom, except it has tentacles instead of just a solid piece of glass to be left for the mushroom stem. So that's the difference with mushrooms is you pull a solid stringer of glass and then you can push that in to get your to get a mushroom, and you can also use the different colored glass, right? That's got the two-tone color, or you can build up tentacles and do that. And there's so many different things that you could actually do, build up and then push into the glass. All right, so now that we got this molten here, we're gonna get the top, the basically the head of the jellyfish or the bell of the jellyfish. We'll get this really molten so we can push this in and basically force it to mushroom inside of the molten clear glass here. All right, so you just push it in the center right there. And then I just got to make sure I get all those tentacles in there. And then we get the air bubble out of there. And this is usually what takes the longest, is waiting for all the glass to melt that air out. And just being patient to let the torch do its work, getting the glass molten, and then just allowing the centrifugal force to allow that glass to slowly in on itself and pinch the air out. Just knowing exactly where to put the heat, the torch, the placement of the flame on the glass, and just keeping it there, staying really precise with where you're keeping the flame, and you're consistently spinning the glass. The rotation is consistent and constant, not spinning too fast or too slow. I like to use my other hand here with my fingers to steady. Nice little trick. So now the air bubble is getting pushed out and the tentacles will be left in there for the jellyfish. So these I wholesale as well. And I can do these at 20 of them for 200. So the mushrooms, you can get those 50 of them for 100. But these I can do 20 for 200. So that means they're basically at that point they drop down to $10 a piece. And like I said, they used to be sold in the Albuquerque Aquarium gift shop at $49.99. But that's in a gift shop, and they go real high end. I sell mine online for $30, and in person here, like I said, I let them go for $20 all day. Oh, I see someone's watching here. What's going on? JCP Art and also Austin. What's going on? So now this here is the jellyfish, and I've been talking about getting some wholesale accounts going once again, and hopefully getting at least one location in each state, possibly two, just depending on how much they're needing and things like that. I might have to only get one or two locations in 10 states, and that might be all I can actually be able to outfit and handle on my own, unless I can find others that can basically mimic my glass and make them to where they're the same size and about the same with the loops or the bales. I've hired people before to make the drop of water, and a couple other pieces that I had going before. So what's going on, guys? How you doing? I don't know if you're still watching or not, but I'm almost done with this jellyfish. My reception here might be bad. My Wi-Fi signal, it keeps saying that I have a poor connection, and then saying to please wait while it's reconnecting. And I don't know if it's dropping viewers or not, which might be interesting. So right now we're putting the backing on. This is just a cobalt blue backing here. So I just put a nice solid piece of cobalt blue on the back. I heat it up all the way around on all sides, holding the glass vertical and then also holding it like this as well, bringing it down, bringing it up. So I can get all the different sizes and get that glass to flow nicely. And also making sure it's not flowing to one side more so than the other. So I'm trying to really balance out the molten glass. So, and I think I lost Art and Austin. You guys came in for a quick hello and goodbye. So, like I said, I don't know if my signal is kicking people out. That would be weird. I don't know why my signal not connecting would be kicking people out. So, pretty much from here on out, I'm going to be making a lot of glass um, for wholesale accounts. A lot of these I'm not going to be tying up until, I'm just going to have them displayed on my table without the cords. And then if someone, if they want to purchase one at retail when I'm vending or anything like that, then I can just tie it up for them individually. So I think I'm going to start doing that. That way these can always be available at wholesale, and you can choose exactly which one you'd like. There's a beautiful jellyfish right there. It looks like a mushroom, but it's got tentacles going around it. But yeah, that one came out really nice. And like I said, I wholesale these at $10 each if you buy 20 at a time. Oh, hold on one sec. I'm gonna clean up the puntee, make sure no colors are on there to mess up the bottom of the jellyfish. And make sure that's a nice puntee there. All right. Well, I don't know how this video went, but pretty much this was the last of the demo for today. I just wanted to let you guys know that the offer is out there. The offer stands. If you're interested, or if you know any shops in your area, in your state, that you think would be interested in some Gardeno glass, either the glass jellyfish jewelry, the original $5 mushrooms, the drop of water, um, any of the other glass that I do, like the spirals or anything else, just let me know. Comment below. I'll find the locations. I'll just Google it and find them, and I'll try to line up uh, a deal with them. We'll see if it works or not. A client, because of your comment below, I'll send you some free glass. How about that? If they order jellyfish, we'll send you jellyfish, or whatever. If they order a good wholesale account, we get something started, I'll send you something nice. The jellyfish are usually some of the hot picks, that's for sure. But yeah, comment below. Let me know if there's any shops in your state that you think my glass would do well in, or if they would be interested in any of the mushrooms, the spirals, the jellyfish, or any of the other glass that I make, the drop of water, things like that. All right, well, we're gonna finish up this bell here, the loop on this jellyfish, and then we're gonna take a look at these other ones that are right here. Oh, I see another person came in. Danny, what's going on? I'm in New Mexico. Where are you at? What are you watching from? Are you here in the U.S.? You watching from outside the country? So I'm basically looking for new accounts in every state. One or two is probably all I need, and then I'll be way too busy. Um, but we're going to take a look at some of the glass that I just made for this video here. And right now I'm working on a jellyfish. We're just finishing up the loop, the bail to the top here. Okay, love. Hold on. Give me a sec, guys. Oh, okay. The apple seeds. Yeah, I don't know if they're organic or not. Yeah. In the room? Okay. Okay, sounds good. All right, I love you too. All right, sorry about that, guys. My wife was taking off to go run an errand real quick. Very important. So I'm just finishing up this jellyfish here and just offering out all the glass that I've been making here at wholesale for all different wholesale accounts. I see that you say you are in New York, which is awesome. I don't have any accounts in New York currently, although we have a friend who's in New York, who had someone that was possibly interested. So I may need to revisit that avenue there and see if they are still interested in my glass. But there you go. There's a nice glowing hot jellyfish right there. You'll be able to see it come through here in just a sec. And hopefully you'll be able to see some of them tentacles. And this camera does not do auto zoom. I'm sorry about that. It's a simple webcam. But let me drop this in the kiln here. This one goes in the kiln. The other ones, those are fine to be without going in the kiln for a moment. So let me get this one in here. All right, and then we'll take a look at the glass that we just made here. So the first one that we worked on was the spiral, which is the basic spiral. It's just a simple push of this color glass into clear glass, basically. And thank you. Nice and clean, huh? Half an hour from Corning. You're also a lamp worker. You've been doing for 30 years as well. 30 years. Me too. I started in 95. So congratulations on your 30 years, Danny. And good to meet you. Another lamp worker. So, basically, I'm doing a simple instruction on these basic ones. I'm wholesaling, getting some wholesale accounts going on some basic pendants and things. But the jellyfish are up and available, and then some other items. But for the spirals, I basically push in the color. It goes in through the center. I push it in and make sure it doesn't mushroom out. Pull it out a little bit, and then give uh, the molten glass a twist, and the color inside comes out like a spiral there. So as you can see, you got that spiral on the inside. And these are my simple $5 pendants right here, but I wholesale them at 50 for 100. So then you can get them for basically at $2 a piece. Now we did the same color, which was this green, which I don't know if it's the forest green. I don't believe it's jade. And so yeah, so the jelly I let go for 20 of them for 200. And you know what? I could probably do a dozen. We could do a dozen for 120, and still keep it at that. I prefer to get rid of quite a few of them at once instead of just a little bit at a time, especially when we're doing wholesale. But pretty much that's what I got available. I also have flowers like these available. These are really simple. I can do these also for that same price. These ones are a little bit more complex, and I would do these ones for $10, and the wholesale on them, I'm not sure. I'd have to figure out. They'd be closer to five, maybe four. And then we have the mushrooms like these here, which I'm actually getting the colored dots inside of there, and these are all built up. It's not as simple just push the color in and they're done, voila. These you have to push the stem in, build up a little bit on the cap, color make a dome basically, and then add the dots on the color, then basically dome that with the piece of clear glass on top. This one takes like 30 to 40 minutes compared to these, which are only like 3 minutes. So, and you can see there's a whole bunch of other ones that are the one color, but they look like they're a multitude of colors. They're so beautiful, and you get that beautiful like purple on top there. So these could be, I don't know if they're triple passion or if it's the amber purple. I think these are the triple passion. And other than that, the drop of water is the one thing that I would love to get going. That's what really inspired me to do this video, was finding this note when I was cleaning up and seeing how I was thinking, okay, well, if I get the drop of water, get two locations in each of the 50 states, that's 100 locations, having them order at least 30 of these at $100 for 30 of them, and then that way, uh, which is interesting, right? Because I do the drop of water for $10 retail because of the meaning and everything, but these are my $5 pendants. It's interesting. These I sell for 10 with nothing in them. These I sell for 5. So it's weird. Maybe I'll bring these down one day. So yeah, so these notes right here, was thinking, then for 100 shops, I was thinking, well, if we're doing this monthly, I'm gonna have to make 3,000 drops per month, which was making 100 drops per day for 30 days straight, which would be crazy. But then, I don't think that once I got all the accounts going, that they would need them every month. It'd probably be like every 2 months, every 3 months, something like that. But when you're blowing glass, one of the aspects of blowing glass is also getting into the whole marketing and selling your glass, getting it into other shops, or just be resell it yourself, going into retail, doing vending, doing markets, or if you have the capital and you can just open up your own studio, your own shop, you can have a little store, have a little shop that people can purchase your glass from. And that would be an ideal location, would be to have somewhere where they could come and watch you blowing glass, where then there's a gift shop that they can purchase the glass in the shop, and also the stuff that you're making there live. But maybe one day that'll happen. We'll see. But with that being said, let me know in the comments below and talk a little bit more. But with that being said, I'm going to let you guys go. You guys have a beautiful day. I'm out.